Good morning, everyone. Very nice to see you all here. Welcome to Google. I've been here for 2 years. And yes, I had a previous life in retail. So hopefully I know both sides of the story here. I also not only started in retail, but I started actually in e-commerce for a startup, an online auction company, back in the dot-com boom times and then the bust times. Some of you may have been there with me. It was quite painful, wasn't it? But I then went into a world where it was really old data, I suppose, when you look at it in the perspective of what we're talking about today. And what I mean by old data is that everything was very structured. It wasn't messy. It was all about neat rows and fields and keeping basically data in silos. And the art was cleaning that data and keeping it tidy, doing good housekeeping, and trying to get some business value out of that. I think the world that we're in now, and Google's a great example. It is by definition, a big data company, a company that's built its value proposition on the data that it collects. We're now in a world of those silos breaking down, of online and offline coming together, of this messiness that is imprecise, but it is very big. And because it's very big, it means that you can get so much more out of it. If you can get your head around that and you can derive value from that, suddenly there are exciting possibilities. There are competitive advantages that we can all reap the rewards from. But the thing I also wanted to talk to you about today was a passion that's definitely held at Google and has been one of mine throughout my career, which is the user experience and putting great consumer experiences at the heart of that value proposition. And if you follow that path, ultimately you should always win, provided you've got a good business model, of course. But that is still a passion held by the founders of Google, that if you create a great user experience, everything else will follow. And I think there are countless examples now, of where big data is creating those consumer experiences. You just need to look at the apps on your mobile phone, that you didn't have just a few years ago. And those are perfect examples that wouldn't have been possible without these new APIs and data sources. The likes of Nike Fuel Band, Google Translate, there are countless examples. On the flip side, and I'm sure this is going to be what we'll debate today, privacy concerns, the concerns of consumers. How am I being tracked? What controls do I have about being tracked? What value am I getting back from that? These are debates I feel we need to have more publicly. I feel it needs to be an open debate. And I think one great thing that's happened in the last few months to underline that is Snowden. Snowden and the NSA. Because that's still a very murky set of issues that hasn't really been publicly debated, and the truth is still out there and hasn't really come out, and I think it should, and I think that should be something that we all discuss openly. The other thing I really wanted to get into this debate, and not just because it's Norman Broadbent, but because I'm very passionate about talent as well, and I think that's a key issue for anyone who considers these opportunities seriously, particularly, frankly, if you're from a company that was built in an era that was pre-big data, because getting the talent, the analytical skills that you need is a massive challenge. And again, I think there's lessons to be learned from companies like Google who manage to gain and retain and cultivate that talent. And I think that's absolutely essential. And the companies who understand that, I think, are the companies who will start to thrive. So overall, I would say embrace the messiness and let's have that open debate about privacy. Thank you.